So if you save another, 10 minutes to send the LOI out, so that's 100 minutes for 10 of these. And if it's 5 minutes for just doing 10 of these by just adding the tag, that's another 95 minutes you save on top of the 175 minutes from before. So that's a total of 270 minutes for just 10 properties. 270 divided by 60, that's 4.5 hours that you and your team collectively have saved. What is going on, y'all? Listen, I'm super pumped to show y'all something that has been helping us automate our business. It's helping us give our sellers, our agents, a much better service. It's helping us move a lot faster, save a ton of time so that we can get more offers out and spend more time with our families instead of in front of the computer. It's saving time for our VAs, and it's just helping all around. All right. Automation, AI in 2023 and 2024 is really the true way to allow you as a small and real estate investing team or solo real estate investing team to get out there and compete. All right. This is the way to do it. Okay. So let me just show you guys real quick what we're doing. If you need any help setting something like this up, just hit me up. I'm more than happy to help. So real quick, let me show y'all how we're doing this in our system. Okay, so this, for instance, is an agent that just came in. One of our VAs talked to them. It doesn't have to be this. It could be a cold agent from a certain expired list you pulled or low equity, no equity list you pulled for on market. It could be off market sellers. It could be any type of seller that you're trying to make an offer on. But what I'm going to show you is how we automated calculating cash offers, how we automated calculating creative offers, and how we automated then sending those out as an LOI. In my next video, I'm going to show you how you can upload these how you can upload a list in bulk and send these out in bulk and have the offers calculated in bulk. So stay tuned for that. That is going to be a pretty dope video as well. But right now, let me dive right in and show you this and tell you about how much time this is going to save you. All right. So right here, you can see that the property was submitted. This is the address. So I'm going to go ahead and get the system to give me a cash offer that we should make this seller or make this agent for their seller. And I'm going to do that right in our property value section right here under comp 1, 2, and 3. And the way that I'm going to do this, you could do this however you want. If you want a more accurate number, you could go ahead and pull the actual comps, the actual value of the actual comps, and take your time to do that. If you want speed, or if you want to automate it, you could go ahead and grab the Zestimate, the Redfin estimate, the Realtor estimate, the PropStream estimate, any estimate that has like an algorithm behind it they put a lot of work behind the algorithm so that you know it's at least in the right range. And you want to basically take those estimates and put them in comp 1, 2, and 3 values right here. Okay. So I know that Zillow, if you go look up how they actually pull their numbers and calculate that data, they put a lot of work into it. Redfin the same way. You'll even see Redfin even tells you how they estimated the value. So I'm going to go ahead anyway and take this address, search it, and we're going to go ahead and pull those values so I can show you guys the quick way of doing this. And listen, y'all, I have tested this over, I don't know, hundreds of times, right? Where we plug in this automated system to calculate the offer, and then we do it manually. And I would say like between 85 and 90% of the time, it's within 5% of the max allowable offer that we got from manually calculating the repairs and everything else like that. So this number is super on point. It's really close to what your cash offer is going to need to be. There's some stipulations behind that though. The property needs to be a single family home. It needs to be located within a major metro or within an hour of that major metro. And then it needs to have an average as is current value of between $100,000 and $500,000. If it's less than or above that, it's not going to work. Okay. Well, it's not going to be accurate. The other thing is the property cannot be like a full gut or a tear down. It needs to be like a medium or light rehab. And then if it's in fully rehab condition and it's like completely fixed up, then obviously you probably want to add a little bit on top. We don't calculate repairs using this; it automatically builds it in. So let me just go ahead and get started right away. So you can see I can grab this estimate for this property right here. It's 351. Go ahead and paste that in the system. You go ahead and go to realtor.com or one of these other sites, Redfin, and grab the estimate from there. And on Redfin, 55 days. And the thing is, y'all, like a lot of people feel some type of way for like making an offer like this. I guarantee you the seller has and this agent have received a ton of offers, some lower, some higher, all in between. And it's still listed because they denied all of them, right? So you have to have different strategies to be able to close a deal in this market. And so this is to start a conversation and to show them that you're serious. I want to ask you a question, right? Like, really think about this. If you are calling an agent and then asking them questions about a property that's already listed on the market with all this information, y'all see all this information I'm scrolling by, all of this information is out here on these listed properties. And if you're calling them to ask them questions, right? And sure, you may get to an offer at the end or you may qualify and see if you're a good fit or not. But if you're doing all of that when they already have it listed, tell me what you prefer. Tell me what you think they would prefer. That process, if you calling them with all these questions and then at the end saying, oh, what's your email? I'm going to send you an offer, right? Their email is already listed, or I'm going to send you some questions, right? That versus them getting a written offer with your signature already in their email, that in your number, and they can call you back. They can look at it, they can deny it, they can email you back, text you. Either way, they already have the written offer in their hands, which is what they want and are going to ask you for on the call anyway. And so you can basically skip a whole call by doing this automated process on top of the other ways that I'm going to show you how you can save time. So when you can do that, it just, and you give them a better experience too, and it saves you time. It's just like, it's a no brainer. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to waste your time or theirs, going through all of that. Okay, so realtor's not giving me any sort of estimate. It's listed for 359. Well, they are. They're giving me this. It's showing me the collateral analytics, core logic, quantum, and then the current list price is lower than all of those. Wow, that is rare. Let's see if we can see some nearby home values all over the place. So let me just go back and just go to a different site then. I wonder if they have, if Long and Foster has an estimate. I'm not sure. If you don't have one here, you could always go to PropStream or something like that. You pull it, or you could just use the list price. Well, it's not selling at the list price. So I don't know if I'd use the list price. Tax has it at 229. That would be disrespectful if you use that. Median sold price in Glen Burnie. So this is even lower. Wow. And this thing is sitting. So that tells you a thing or two about this property. So I'm going to go ahead and just for expedience purposes, use this. Or actually, you know what? Let me use PropStream. Okay, so I'm in PropStream. I just want to paste the address of the property. And pull it up, and then I'm just going to grab the estimated value from PropStream. Wow, $100,000 jump in a year. That is insane. All right, so PropStream is saying 400 and 1,000. Dang, PropStream, I almost don't even want to use your number, PropStream. I almost want to go back to, yeah, I'd rather use this price. Yeah, so always like you can always look at different things there, but um in this situation, I'd rather use the list price. But even if we left PropStream in there, like I don't It's not going to be insanely different from what we want because it's taking an average of 3, right? So it's not just taking this as the end all be all. So even if I left it there, we'll be fine. So if I save this and refresh it, and right now in the background, it's just calculating out our cash offer. It's calculating the average as is value. It's doing all that stuff for us automatically so that we don't have to, saving us a ton of time. And it's going to just simply plop the number in the property value section for us automatically. What's that? Okay, I'm in the property value section. Oh, refresh the page, add the fields. Boom. So you see right there, it's telling you, hey, if we're looking at this property, the average as is value is 375. It's saying we probably could sell this thing for 280 if that's the case. And mind you, this property isn't in the best of condition. Like, look at this thing. I mean, you need some updates, right? And it's competing with other properties over there that probably don't need as many updates and aren't as outdated, right? And so it's saying the buyer's going to want it at 75%. That's what this number is, estimating our assignment fee at $35,000. And so it's taken from this dispo price, 35,000, and that's our offer to the seller. So if you want to adjust your offer, you can add on more to that or however you want. It also pops it up here. So if you're on a call and your team is trying to move quick, they can simply put the seller on hold. 1 second, I want to check out. I want to talk to my finance manager real quick. And you can listen to the call while you're going and grabbing those values, pasting them in here, save it, refresh. Hey, seller, so set a good conversation for you. Let me ask you, when's the last time that the heater was replaced, the HVAC was updated, the electric was updated, any of that stuff? And they tell you, just, I see. Okay. And the system will refresh and they'll have a cash offer right there on what they should make. Hey, I see other properties going for X. I see other properties, well, not these, but the actual ones listed in the area, right? That you can just pull up on any of these sites. And then they're talking with them right there and they got their offer already ready to go. They don't gotta do too much. They can make it. And like I said, I've looked at hundreds of these, and 80 to 85 to 90% of the time, like I said, it's within 5%, even $10,000 of what the offer we would actually make. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is show you guys how we would calculate the creative offer. And it's a lot simpler than that. I'm just kind of showing you all the different fields that we use in here to be able to like automate our processes. But all we have to do in order to update the creative offer is one field. We just update one field, the asking price, which right now is $359. So I'm just going to throw that in here, $359. Save it, and down here in the transaction info section, it's going to update all of my creative terms, all of these. And so while I'm down here, let me just update these. So this is my closing period, how many days do I want for the inspection? So I'm just going to update those real quick so that I can make it quicker for me to send out my LOI. And then when I hit save on those, it's literally, it's basically doing your creative offer math right now. Even telling you, oh, like we can update, yes, there's an agent involved, and it'll calculate out like their commissions as well. So we can save that. And then all I'm going to do is literally refresh the page. And so typically just think about how much time it saves you. First of all, if one person on your team is to run 3 comps and find them, even people who are fast, it's going to take them, on average 5 minutes to find a comp, right? On average, 4 or 5 minutes for a really good person to find 3 comps, right? If they're not really good, it's going to take them like 10 minutes, right? If they're just good, it's going to take them like 10 minutes. If they're okay, it's going to take them 10 to 20 minutes, right? So if you have a VA in this position or someone newer, or if you're doing this on top of everything else in your business, this is going to save you 10 to 20 minutes plus, right? For each property that you do. And like I said, you could do it on autopilot once you upload the leads so that it's already in there for you. So you're saving it right out the gate. Every property, every time. And then creative offer, I don't even have to tell you how long that takes. I'm going to show you what it spits out. But even an experienced person, they're not going to be able to tell you all of the terms and all of the exact numbers of what we would offer this seller, you know, for this deal, right off their head. They might say, "Oh, the property's listed for 360. We need to be 36K all in, right? 10% flat, right?" And so then you got to calculate out the commissions and everything, and then how do you even get that into the LOI? You got to write it up. You got to write up the LOI, where you plug it into DocuSign, however, and then send it out. Instead of doing all that, we literally just plug in the asking price and it spits out, say, yes, there's an agent involved, and it spits out the estimated, numbers that we already need to be at. And it caps our max entry fee around 12%, right? And then it automatically gives the purchase price a little bit higher than the asking price. It basically adds the cash to seller down here to the asking price to make the total created purchase price. And then this cash to seller actually comes from this max entry fee. After you take out the closing costs, the commission, the holding costs, and all of that stuff, not the EMD. But it does this automatically for you. And then automatically, if you want to just send out a letter of intent to someone, let's say, so this agent who came into the system, I want to send her an LOI. So all I have to do is hit send. I just type that in, 4 keys, 4 characters, add that tag, and she's literally going to get an LOI in her email. So the text didn't go through. So it looks like she has a landline. All right, so the message didn't go through. Tried to call her, didn't go through. And then we just sent her an LOI. Okay, so here it is right here. Let's see the status of this. So it was delivered. Okay, so she got the message from me. This is my email. I'll probably blur that out so you can't see her email. But anyway, it was delivered. And then you can see it has her name right there. It says, "Hey, we sent you a proposal." It looks the exact same way in her email too. And all she has to do is hit view proposal or click that link that was down below. And she can even download it as a PDF to send to her seller. Oops. Let me open that back up. I accidentally exited it out. But she could just download it as a PDF to her seller. And then right here, it just gives them upfront just, some quick terms telling them, "Hey, these are some terms we set ourselves that we would like, propose to the seller. We could negotiate, or if they like it, we'll write up a purchase and sale agreement." And then I didn't update the address properly, it looks like. So it put in the city, state, and zip code twice. So I'll just be careful when you're updating the address and stuff. It looks like I did not update that. Oh yeah, I got the whole address in here when it's just supposed to be the property address. So that's my fault. But all good, right? She still got it, and it still has my offer in here, right? That's the creative offer that the system generated for us. That's the cash to seller, and then that's the cash offer that we made with the inspection period and closing days that we set, and a little bit more information about our offer in the EMD, and it can be signed right here. And if you upload your signature, I did not upload my signature. I gotta go do that today. It'll basically paste your signature right in there, so they'll get a signed LOI in their email with the phone number that they can call you back at. And so it just makes it super simple and straightforward for you. So you don't have to do too much. Your team doesn't have to do too much after jumping off the call. It's a simple, quick process so that you can increase the number of these that you're sending out a day. You could even do it. I don't want to say bulk and you're sending out like spam, but I just mean like bulk, like these are properties that you like in areas that you like, deals that you would actually be able to perform on. Send it in bulk to those people is what I mean. Not just like blasting these out to random people. I don't recommend that, random agents. But yeah, so you could send these out because you want to be qualified, right? Even if you did do that though, like they're getting an offer in their email with a signature, phone number at the bottom saying you're going to close in 30 days. One of them's way above, well, not way above, but above the list price, and then one's a cash offer, right? So they get both. You know what I'm saying? Right in their email. And you don't have to leave the system to do it. It's not too much work for you or your team, and it's automated, right? And you can just keep on moving. they can sign it and everybody moves on. Once they sign it, everybody gets a copy, right? It gives them a little bit of urgency right there. So it just simplifies your whole business process and saves you time. So let's just calculate this out. Let's say you wanted to send 10 LOIs, right? You want to make like 50 offers a week, right? So you want to send like, I don't know, at least 50 offers a week. You gotta make it at least 50 offers. Should be more like 100. But if you send out 10 of these LOIs, right? And your team takes, let's call it, I don't know, 10 minutes. They're good. They're good at running comps. It takes them 10 minutes on average to run comps and pull out a cash offer. For 10 properties, that is 100 minutes. Okay. Versus if you do this in bulk, it'll take you like 2 minutes. If you did it for each one of those 10 properties, if I did that process and just go grab those values from each of those sites, that's going to take me 2 minutes. So 20 minutes for 10 properties versus 100 minutes. You just saved 80 minutes. That's an hour and 20 minutes. If you're paying someone, you just saved yourself money. And I'm just talking about 10 offers right here. You should be making way more than that every week if you want to get deals, right? So that's 10 offers. You just saved yourself 80 minutes on just the cash, right? And just verbally, because we didn't even write up the LOI yet. Okay. So if you want to go get the creative, now you either have to know creative yourself, you have to call up the person you're JVing with creative on and make sure they're available. You got to do all that stuff before you know even close to where you're supposed to be at. Versus this, it's going to spit out exactly kind of the range that we're going to want to be at to make this a good deal for us. Right? We don't know necessarily the mortgage or the cash flow we're going to get, but we know if our entry fee is this and it's a property we already like, there's a lot of things we can probably do. We just got to find out the particulars, right? And this is a conversation starter right out the gate. Okay. And so if it takes you 5 minutes to have the conversation with that person, break down the deal, tell them where it's at, have them go check it out, look at the comps, and then tell you, oh, yeah, we need to be 10% all in. And then, oh, yeah, we got to do this for closing, do this for that, do this for holding. And commissions. Oh, there's an agent. Oh, we got to pay them commission. So, okay. So that's like a 5 minute conversation right there for each one of these. Right. And then to calculate out the numbers, maybe, and that's another 5 minutes. Right. So that's 10 minutes for each of these for the creative, another 10 minutes. So there you go. Boom. I told you, you literally change one thing in here. So it's 30 seconds for this on 10 properties. That's 5 minutes versus 100 minutes for doing that whole other process I just talked about. All right. So 5 minutes versus 100 minutes, you just saved 95 minutes. 95 plus 80 for the other minutes you save, you're already at 175 minutes. That's almost 3 hours that you're saving for just 3 properties or for just 10 properties. 3 hours you're saving for 10 properties. The time is already saved. Now we're talking about writing up an LOI. How long does it take you to go plug these numbers into whatever template that you use in DocuSign or Sign Request or whatever signing soft, EverSign, PandaDoc, whatever signing software you use? How long does it take you to actually go? Now you got to go write this offer, this LOI. Do you even know how to write an LOI, or do you even have a template yet? You probably do. But even if you don't, or even if you do, it's going to take you time to plug this in. Versus what I just did is after it was auto calculated in like 2.5, 4 minutes, whatever the time is, I just added a tag. That took me 15 seconds. I'll just call it 30 so I can do the math easier. Right. So it takes me another 30 seconds to send the LOI out. Right. For 10 of these. So that's another 5 minutes. Right. Versus you taking, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes to send the LOIs out the other way through your template. And if you don't have a template, I don't even need to talk much more. So if you save another, 10 minutes to send the LOI out, so that's 100 minutes for 10 of these. And if it's 5 minutes for just doing 10 of these by just adding the tag, that's another 95 minutes you save on top of the 175 minutes from before. So that's a total of 270 minutes for just 10 properties. 270 divided by 60, that's 4.5 hours that you and your team collectively have saved from calculating out the cash offer, running the comps, calculating out the creative offer, writing up the LOI, and then sending it out. All right, y'all just saw me do the process here while I'm talking and pausing to explain how it calculates it and send it out. And tell me honestly, what do you think the agent would prefer? Do you think that the agent is going to prefer to talk to you about the property that they already have listed and it already has, ample information on it? Like, look at all the information you can actually find on these properties, on these listing websites. Like, not only the beds and bath, but there's so much stuff. And if you go to like Redfin, it gives you even more info than Realtor. Like Redfin gives you insane amount of details. And so the agent is like talking to you about all these details when they could be at a listing appointment or doing, and they spend all this time writing this up and taking all these photos, staging it, and all this stuff to talk to you just at the end for you to say, okay, I'm going to write you up an offer and send it over to you, or write you up some more questions for you to answer and send over to you. Right? That versus this process where they get in their email an offer from you with your signature and your phone number that they can call you back at to already start the process. And the offer is already in a ballpark that you know is going to work. So at this point, you're jumping right in and explaining the stuff that you would have explained anyway. But you start off on way better ground. And even if they don't like the offer, you're a way more credible person for them to talk to. So it saves you time, it gives them a better experience, saves them time, and gives them something they can actually present the seller that you already know is on point, right? So it's just a question of like, how do you want to run your business and what do you want to spend time on? Do you want to spend time on finding opportunities and locking up these deals, or like writing up contracts and, you know, creative offers all day? I really created this for myself, I'm telling you, because a lot of times what happens is you ask yourself the same questions and your team and your partners are going to ask you the same questions. And if you can automate the answers to those questions a lot faster, everybody moves with a lot more fluidity, more offers go out, more deals happen, and everybody's a lot happier. And it just makes things a lot smoother. So in the next video, like I said, I'm going to show you how I'm going to pull just a list of these and just send them out so that you guys can see how that process is automated and how you can do this in bulk for properties that you actually could perform on in areas that you like. So thank you. If you need help setting something like this up, please don't hesitate to hit me up. I'm more than happy to help you. Just give me a shout. Our family, peace.